Welcome to Shape of the City. My name is Larry Williams and I'm your host today. Today we're going to talk about a group called We Can Do This. And with us we have Susie, who is the founder, and Mary Jo, who's a community outreach advocate. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Susie, why don't you tell us a little bit about We Can Do This? Who are you and what do you do?
So We Can Do This is a volunteer-driven group that feeds the kids at F Street Community Center every Saturday and every Sunday.
How did you get started?
So a year ago in October of 2016, my daughter, who worked at F Street Community Center, came home and said, "Mom, this is really sad to me." And I said, "Well, what's so sad, honey?" And she said, when she gets to work at 9 o'clock on Saturdays, that there are kids there, and they leave at 5 when she leaves, that haven't eaten a thing all day long when they've been there. So I told her, well, we can fix that. We can do something about that.
So thus We Can Do This.
That's We Can Do This.
So how many kids did you start off with and how many kids do you have now?
So our plan every Saturday and Sunday is to have enough food to serve 60 kids. There are times we have served less than 60, and there's times that we've served a few more than 60. After meeting with the assistant director here, that was the number that we came up to plan every Saturday and Sunday for, based on the numbers that they have.
Okay, thank you so much. Mary Jo, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role in We Can Do This and how you got started here?
Well, I retired and I started with Meals on Wheels, delivering meals. And Susie is the coordinator of all the Meals on Wheels, and that was in December. So over the months, she told me about We Can Do This, something that she came up with. And the story just got me right away, especially when she said she's calling the group We Can Do This, feeding the kids at F Street Community Center on weekends who might not otherwise be eating. I said, how can I be a part of this?
This is a volunteer group. Neither one of you are getting paid for this.
No.
No. So you depend upon volunteers and donations.
Absolutely. We've been fortunate so far to just some people that I know, some people in our group that know folks, Mary's efforts to make it for a year with donations, but to keep going, we need additional support. We're looking for restaurants, grocery stores, religious organizations, businesses that would be interested in adopting either a Saturday or a Saturday and Sunday, or more if they'd like to, each month, so that we can get everything covered where somebody's donating the food or they have volunteer groups that come in and help us.
So if people who are watching this program, whether faith communities or restaurants or other organizations, want to donate food or cash to help this program, We Can Do This, who do they need to contact or how can they get a hold of you?
We do have a Facebook page, We Can Do This. You can check there and see what we're up to every weekend and what we need, and or get information on how to contact Susie or I. And it's all volunteer. It's us. It's the grassroots people feeding the children of your neighborhood, of your community, of this city. Yes, right here in Lincoln.
It's kind of unique. I think we're actually filming this episode right here in the room where the kids eat. Is that right?
Yes, we are. Yep.
And I believe there's a kitchen right behind us.
There is a kitchen, and we have full access to the kitchen here at F Street. So when we started, we were cooking the food someplace else and bringing it here, and then F Street allowed us to use the kitchen. We serve on Saturdays at 1, so we have volunteers come in at about noon to start preparing. And however many kids are here, we serve them. And then on Sundays, the rec center doesn't open until 1, so we just serve at 2:30 on Sundays. And again, we have people come in at about an hour before serving time to prepare.
Okay. And so if someone is interested in being a volunteer, they can basically say about 2.5 to 3 hours of time commitment on those Saturdays and Sundays that you're feeding the kids.
Yes.
All righty.
Yes.
Okay.
The smiles on the kids' faces, that's what this is all about. They
It is a good feeling to do good things for kids that don't have all the privileges or some of us that have had in the past. It is a wonderful thing for us to do, to help those kids in need.
Yes.
Mary Jo, is there anything else you would like to add about We Can Do This?
So we try to focus on giving them healthy meals.
Sure.
And there's always a hot component included, and fruits, vegetables. One other thing that I know Susie would want to mention, if we could, is we also sponsor a birthday closet for these children.
Okay.
And that's once every month. Any child that has a birthday during that month, Susie, we've all collected either funds or birthday gifts, age appropriate. And so they have a birthday party.
Okay.
And Susie has stories of even a 15-year-old that never had a birthday party before.
Sure.
The family's invited, and we have cupcakes or cakes, and they have a birthday party. And so, again, another experience for our children in the neighborhood that might not otherwise have had.
Okay. And again, you're going to be needing not only volunteers, but also donations to fill up that birthday closet and have gifts and whatever else for the kids.
Right. I know everybody's out there seeking donations for one thing or another, but we're happy with the cash donations, and we now have a way to make sure that you get tax deductible credit for your donations.
And one of the things that we are very careful of doing, if someone has donated money and they say, I want this money to go to food, that money absolutely goes to the food. If they've donated money then they want to earmark it for birthday gifts, then we absolutely make sure that that goes for birthday gifts. For the birthday closet, we serve kids kindergarten through high school. Those are the kids that attend the center on the weekends. I think the word is spreading that we're here. We've had parents starting to call and say, are you guys feeding the kids on the weekend? F Street does feed them Monday through Friday, a dinner meal. But the word is spreading to the families also, where the parents are here. Not too long ago, she told me about a family that mom can only afford to put one meal a day on the table for the kids. So they come here on Saturday and Sunday, so they eat 2 meals that day instead of one. And she's a working mom and going to school, and with everything on her plate, she just can't afford to feed the kids more than that. So that's why we're here.
Yes.
Because we have kids that will either not eat, or kids that may eat 1 meal a day if we're not here to do what we're doing for them.
And I think that's important for the folks who are viewing this program today to understand that there is poverty in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's hidden most of the time. People don't know about it, but it's here, and it's very prevalent in our community.
And F Street has been around longer than I have. It's always been a strong face in the Lincoln community. The kids that come here, the families that come here, the thank yous that we've had from parents coming in and telling us thank you, let us know not only that there is a great need, but the people that we're serving are so grateful for what we're doing in this area of town.
Great. Probably have about less than a minute to wrap things up. Anything else either one of you would want to add? Or you think we've covered everything that you'd want to share with our viewing public today?
Well, one thing we just want to make sure people know that we can do this means that we feed kids at F Street Community Center every weekend. And we would love to have people work with us and be part of the we.
Well, thank you, Susie and Mary Jo, for being with us today on Shape of the City. And again, we can do this in the city of Lincoln.
What if you could add 5 years to your child's life and make your whole family healthier with simple changes? Partnership for Healthy Lincoln wants to help you and your family live longer, healthier lives. It's easier than you think. Take the dog for a walk. Play more and text a little less. Swap out a soda for water once a day. Keep fruits and veggies handy for snacking. For more ideas, visit healthylincoln.org.
Hi, I'm Melissa Fuller with Shape of the City. I am here at the Orchard, and I'm here with Skylar Lynn. We want to learn a little bit about the Orchard and the Wellbeing Initiative. So can you tell us what goes on here?
We are a peer-led drop-in center for people with mental health challenges. And our mission is really to provide a space for people to build connections, to feel a part of a community, and to build the support network that's really important in maintaining mental wellness.
Perfect. So the Wellbeing Initiative is the nonprofit, correct?
Yes.
And the Orchard is the program and the location?
Yes.
Would that be the best way to explain it?
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 3 programs, the Orchard being our main program and the first program that we launched. We've been around for about 2 years, but we also have a warm line and a training program.
Talk about the type of people that are coming through the Orchard.
The Orchard is really unique in that we have such a wide variety of people who come through the Orchard. We do have a significant population of people who are living out on the streets right now, clear up to people who have so many different experiences. We've got people with PhDs, people with different degrees. We've got people who are stay-at-home parents and families. We've got people on disability. It's just such a wide range of people who come here and look to either give back or provide support for each other and just really walk along that journey together.
And talk about the peer support part of it. How does that work? How is that different than somewhere else that people may be accustomed to thinking about?
Yeah, sure. When it's peer support, it's all about walking that journey together as equals. It's about building a mutual relationship that is beneficial to both people in that relationship and using that relationship to foster wellness. It's not about giving advice or telling people what to do or even suggesting how to achieve recovery and how to achieve wellness. It's more about just meeting somebody where they're at and walking along with them.
What sort of support do you give as well for resources or who you may partner with in the community?
Yeah. We really want to be kind of a hub for resources. There's so many resources available in Lincoln, and sometimes that's overwhelming, especially when you struggle with anxiety or getting out and making those connections. So we want to work as kind of a hub to help people make those connections with resources in the community. We partner very closely with Centerpoint. We do a lot with their homeless outreach program in getting people into those programs and providing the support while they're waiting. Sometimes that waiting period can be really difficult. We also work with Lutheran Family Services, Catholic Family Services, with Touchstone, several different of the organizations here in Lincoln. We help bridge that connection for our members to be able to get in touch with and get through that application process to take advantage of those resources.
Walk me through where we're at right now and give me an idea of what goes on here.
Our space is set up, it's fairly open. We really wanted to maintain kind of a coffee shop / art gallery kind of vibe. So we do have a lot of art on our walls. All of the art in here is created by people with mental health challenges. We partner with the F Street Rec Center and Artists on the Edge and get to display a lot of that art here. And we also have several support groups that do some art-based activities as well. So that all gets displayed in here. And a lot of it is people coming in just to meet each other. We play games. A lot of people will sit around playing cards. We put together puzzles. We have 2 computers that people have access to be able to create resumes, look for jobs, and even just check their Facebook. We have a couple of people on staff who are able to help with some basic computer skills, so we can help people get set up with email addresses if that's not something they're familiar with. Which actually is very helpful in applications for jobs these days. And we also have kind of a resource table that has a lot of our bus schedules, pamphlets from different organizations around town. And then we have a room, our training room is next door where we have our support groups and activities like our movie nights and jam sessions.
Why is a program like this so important in Lincoln?
We are creating a space for people to connect with other people in a way that is healthy, that does not exist anywhere else. Our members in our community are people who have found a hard time fitting in other places and building really healthy connections with each other. And they have the guidance of peers who have learned a little bit more about relationships and some of those skills needed to build an authentic connection, and that's modeled here every single day. So people who struggle very much with building a healthy connection can come here and see what that looks like and get to explore that for themselves.
To have a friend is ultimately to have somebody there for you, have your back, so that people aren't so alone, correct?
Absolutely. And I remember even when I was going through my own therapy and in therapy for myself, he told me that it was absolutely imperative for my recovery to have a support network that he said was 5 people deep, to have at least 5 people that I could count on when something came up, when there was a challenge. And I didn't have that at the time. I had nobody. And that difference that it just made for me to actually build a support network, it is incredible the difference in your own recovery that just having a few real friends makes. So our community of people who have been for years struggling to stay sober, to stay clean, to stay in houses, to keep their employment. With so many of us, that is made a lot worse by not having a healthy support network when things get really tough. And that's what we provide here, is a space to build that healthy support network, and for people to come and say, you know what, I'm not sure I'm going to make it through today without a drink, and have somewhere safe to actually say that out loud and get the support that they need, and hear that they're not alone. And the difference that makes in being able to stay well is really amazing.
Okay, so let's say you're someone out there that thinks maybe you or a family member or someone you love could benefit from this. What should they do?
Really, it's just a matter of walking through the door. We are not based on referrals. You don't need a referral to come in. You don't need a diagnosis to come in. All you need to do is really acknowledge that you have some lived experience with mental health, and come in, and we greet everybody as soon as they come in the door. We want to say hi, make sure everybody feels welcome, and then really just kind of find your place. We are always looking for volunteers. We are a volunteer-based program, so our staff is all volunteers. Our support networks are all led by people who have lived what that support group is addressing. So we have like a bipolar support group, we have a women's support group, we have it's called anxiety. We have an anxiety society support group that addresses anxiety, and all of those groups are facilitated by people who have these struggles. So anybody who is looking to be able to use their experiences and their worst days to make somebody else's worst days more tolerable, come on in and we'll see what we can set you up with.
Any other last words you'd like to share with the public, or any other ways people can help?
A lot of our art-based groups are based on donations, so anybody who has art skills and who would like to share those skills with us and with our community by showing people how to do specific things, or have some of those markers, papers, pens, and glue sitting around the house, we could always use art supplies. And other than that, it's just time. Like I said, we are volunteer-based, so anybody who has the time to be able to walk alongside somebody else in their journey.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
My name is Damon Hershey. I'm one of many people in Lincoln that rides a bike year-round. It is important for winter riding to be prepared, especially being visible. You want to have a good quality light. You want to be visible to all road users. You want to be sharing the road. You also want to remember the 3-foot passing law. That's a safety for both the cyclists as well as the motorists. And of course, if you'd like to find out more, you can visit lincoln.ne.gov.
Hi, I'm Melissa Lindeman with Lincoln Park and Recreation. I'm the program monitor, and one of the programs that we have is School Play Club. This is a new program that will be starting January 23rd. It's going to be on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. at Calvert Recreation Center. We are real excited about this. We are combining two programs, formerly our Developmental Play Club that met at Ager Play Center, and our Young Athletes program that was meeting at Easter Day. We have combined those to make one play club that will incorporate both a music and movement time as well as young athletes. Music is so important to all of us. It's a universal language, especially for kids. The cognitive skills that they gain, the social skills, and they just have lots of fun. Lots of learning happens through music, and kids don't even realize that it's a learning activity. During the Young Athletes component of the Preschool Play Club, the kids are going to have the opportunity to learn skills such as catching, throwing, jumping, balancing, all those basic skills that are needed for sport development in a fun, safe environment that gives them lots of active movement. This play club is free, and it's for all kids ages 2 to 7, regardless of their ability. As a Park and Rec department, it is important for us to provide recreation for all ages, including preschoolers, and music and movement, as well as the sports, is all a great part of recreation for lifelong skills. For more information, you can visit the Lincoln Park and Recreation website, or you can also call 441-7948 for more information or to register.
Shape of the City is dedicated to keeping Lincoln informed of health and wellness programs and events. Visit our calendar at lincoln.ne.gov, keyword Wellness Calendar. If you'd like to see your program or event covered, email us at lnktvhealth
at lincoln.ne.gov.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.